Hello, my name is Taylor. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog, but it's a special one. It's a collaboration video with my good friend Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles. So we wanted to do a collaboration video, and we thought it would be fun if we each read one of the other's 5-star reads. So I picked out a book for Lucy, and Lucy picked out a book for me to read. And Lucy chose for me to read Head in the Clouds by Karen Witemeyer. So I've never read a Karen book before, but I have heard a lot of people enjoy her books. I know they're all set in Texas. They're all Christian fiction. And yeah, I'm curious to see what I think about Karen's writing and about this book in particular. I don't really know much about it. I'm going to go into it kind of blind. I think I heard someone say that the main character is a governess for a little girl and it's a romance with her dad, I think. I don't know. It's like a Western type story. So yeah, I don't really know much else, and that's okay with me. I kind of want to go in blind as can be to get my true opinions on this book. And you'll have to go check out Lucy's vlog to see what book I picked out for her. So I'm going to start reading that today. I don't think I'll get very far because I have a lot of stuff I need to get done, but I'll keep you updated with my thoughts. Howdy. I feel like I had to say that at some point in this vlog because I'm reading a book set in Texas. So anyways, I finished the prologue and chapter 1. What am I doing with my hands? I don't even know. I finished those chapters and I wanted to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. So in the prologue, we sit down with Adelaide and Henry, and you can tell right away that something's off with Henry. Meanwhile, Adelaide's thinking he's going to propose. He's given all these signs. She don't really care about him too much, but basically nobody else is asking, and she really wants a family. She's thinking that the love will come later type of thing. Okay. So he says he's going to leave for work, never come back. So she's like, well, maybe there's something preventing him from asking. I'm just going to pray about it. So like a week later, she goes and follows him. She quit her job, basically moved everything up there to find him. And tell me why. I was thinking about Legally Blonde this whole time, where I think his name was Warner and Elle are sitting in the restaurant, and she's thinking he's going to propose, and he doesn't. He breaks up with her, and she has this whole meltdown. But Adelaide did not have that level of emotion. But the thing they do have in common is that Adelaide and Elle go to him to try and win him. And I'm just over here thinking, like, why is this movie playing in the back of my head during this 1800s Western? So, anyways, that's where my brain went. I just thought I'd share that. But I wasn't quite sure how I'd feel about her doing this. But now that I've read a little bit more, she's kind of explained herself. And I'm like, okay, girl, I feel you. And we have moved on. She has found out. And we are processing and moving on. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hello, it is Wednesday night. I am outside letting my dog out. Thought I would give an update. Today was an interesting day. So last night we learned that there were severe weather threats coming our way today. 80-mile-an-hour winds with tennis ball sized hail. And here I am expecting Tornadogeddon all day long. It did rain most of today and a little bit of wind, but it's usually kind of windy here anyway. So yeah, it was not nearly as bad as they foretold it to us. But I'm thankful. Like, I would much rather get what we got than what was predicted. I mean, look, so much better. We're still technically under a tornado warning for like another hour. So who knows if we'll get more weather, but I've been watching Ryan Hall, y'all, and it's interesting watching him. Like, there are tornadoes popping up every 5 seconds, it feels like, or at least warnings and watches across Iowa and Illinois, which are our neighbors now. So very well could still head in our direction later tonight, but right now we're doing pretty good. So it stopped raining. The sun is out, but you know, sun setting. But let me get this dog in and get another one and tell you about my reading update. All right, I got the other dog out here. She's doing her business, but hopefully you can hear me because the wind picked up a little bit in between me getting dogs. So anyways, reading update. So I am about 15% in, and I'm really liking it. It's really cute. I love the main character. She is like spunky, chatty, ray of sunshine type of person. And one of the things I really appreciate about her character is she said something about her father passing away and how he had called her his ray of sunshine, so she always wears yellow. And I had thought there was something with her dresses because the cover has a yellow dress, and then she like was listing out all the clothing she could possibly wear, and they were all yellow. And I was like, there's something up with her wearing yellow. And it was just a really sweet thing for her to do, and it really endeared me to her character. And yeah, and she's also a huge klutz, which I really identify with as a clumsy person myself. And the way she meets the main character was so funny. She said something about like she got like stuff all over him, and she's like, I breaded him like a chicken going into the pan or something. The way she worded it was so funny. So it's a little humorous too, really cute. The only complaint I have so far is it has kind of a stereotypical villain who wants money and is trying to come after the main characters. So I think that's been done a little bit too much, and it's a little bit too cliche, but I'm still having fun with it. So I really want to see, there's a little girl in this book, and she is mute from her mother dying. Is probably selective mutism. I said that word, selective mutism. She's not a mutant. This is not that kind of book. But yeah, I think that's probably what's going on with her, which they didn't have a term for it back then, right? So I think she just needs some tender loving care and someone to break her out of her shell, which I'm assuming this main character will do. They've already had a good interaction so far. So I'm looking forward to her kind of healing from the grief and coming out of her shell and just being a little kid again. So anyways, so that's my update. Hello, it is Thursday, June 18th, and I wanted to show y'all something, and honestly, I debated on whether even to share this tidbit of information because it is slightly embarrassing for me, but I'm going to go ahead and share it because one, it's funny, and then two, if there's anybody else that rides the struggle bus, you can relate to me potentially. So I was going to do a clip in my previous vlog about, it was my bookish vlog, and I was doing all kinds of bookish things, and I was like, wow, this is a perfect opportunity to finally decorate my Kindle because I have a Kindle case that is falling apart, like literally I don't even know where it is now. Did I already throw it away? Anyways, I had a Kindle case that was like, the seams were coming off of it and it was fraying, and I've had it since I bought my Kindle like years ago. And it is time to replace it. And so I had bought a Kindle case a while ago, and I'm like 90% sure I was pregnant with my first, or I was postpartum with my first. The reason I say that is because whenever I put my Kindle in said case while I was filming for that vlog, it didn't fit. And that was like, I bought this thing like 3 years ago, and I had just set it off to the side because I wanted to decorate it, and I just never got around to doing it. It was not a top priority. And so yeah, it's too wide and too short, even though I don't know what happened. All I can guess is that my brain, it just was in pregnancy fog or postpartum fog. So yeah, that happened. So this was a waste of money. So anyways, I had to go ahead and post that video, so I did. And so now I'm including the Kindle decoration in this one because I just received this case today. So yay, thank the Lord. My brain is more with it nowadays. And I have the correct size. It doesn't fit like perfectly. You can tell like at the top it's a little bit bent. But I mean, hey, it's mostly protected. And I was also kind of wary of switching to a case like this because I had one that would fold over, like it was magnetized and it folded over the top to protect the screen. Because y'all, I am a butterfingers and I will drop things in a hot minute. I can't even tell you how many times I dropped my phone. And when I took this case off and I was carrying it, can you Can you guess? I dropped it. So it's still working. So I am one who absolutely does need to have a great case that's fully encased. And I wanted to be able to have the pretty like decorated Kindle covers. I've seen people have those and it just seems so fun to decorate it every season. So I'm going to try to keep up with that, but we'll see. So I ended up getting this case and it's got like pockets and stuff. I don't know how, how much I'll use the pockets, but those are the stickers I'm going to use. But this does fit, so thank goodness I didn't waste money on this, but I can slide it right in there and it's like cushioned and stuff, so it will be protected. I honestly don't know how long this will last me much longer though, because like I bought it like years ago. I think it said on here it was 2017, maybe 2018. It's a HD Fire 8, 8th generation, and I think there's like at least 10 now, so I don't know, but it seems to be working fine so far. I mean, every once in a while it has a little glitch, but it's fine. I'm going to keep using it until it don't work no more. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, anyways, I thought I would share my decorating it. I had originally had a different sheet of paper picked out, but I had already cut it out to this size, and that does not work. So I'm having to use a new sheet of paper, and I was hoping to have it more, I was about to say monotone, like one color, and this is as close as I could get out of my stash that I currently have that looks summery. So I have some stickers I want to show y'all, so I don't know if I'll use all of these, but I'll show them to you just in case. I work to support my reading addiction. Ain't that the truth? Read good books, ask hard questions. Books in a heart. Read more books. A girl reading a book. It's pink. It's cute. Read more books so I could pick which one I want. And then a stack of books and a random one that I just really liked because I love historical. So it's a Victorian lady reading a book. So we'll see what all I can do. But I'm going to cut out this piece of paper. And I was struggling with this one. I didn't know how to make it fit, so this works even better because this one came with a cutout, so I could just use it as a stencil, and yay, so that works. So a blessing in disguise, maybe. I'm going to take the solar lines where they may fall, but I have a very messy desk, so let me just move some stuff out of the way so you don't have to see all this stuff. Should I be cleaning my house right now? Absolutely. But do I want to? No. We're going to make my Kindle case instead. So here we go. There is your vantage point. And maybe now I can start to film things like me making like, I don't know, planner spreads or Bible journaling something, or my reading journal. That would be another one that I could show you from this angle. I did have it, but I couldn't find it. I have this little tripod on my desk, so we'll see. It's not the best angle, but this is what we're rolling with right now. So while I do this, let me tell you an update about my reading. So I have not read too much further because I was a bit distracted last night, let me tell you, with all the storms, and I was just watching Ryan Hall. Y'all, I talked about this a little bit already, but then I got sucked into Instagram stories last night, which I don't typically hardly ever do more than an hour, and I hardly ever do that because I prefer to read, right? But I got sucked in, and I was laughing and crying and just having a great time. And I stayed up. I went to bed at 2 in the morning. So yeah, that was poor decision making on my part, but I had fun. Dancing around to throwbacks and all that, and experiencing the gambit of human emotions that are experienced through Instagram Reels, including the athletes that are over here for FIFA, which I had no idea that was a thing until my friend Lindsay on Instagram. I will try to remember to link her below, but she's great. She's a huge supporter of Booktube. But anyways, she had said something about that being her latest reality TV show, kind of, and I have to agree. Like, you just have to, you have to enjoy the merriment that these Europeans are experiencing from America. So, anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Reading update. I have not read much further. I got to chapter 6, and there's a part where what is her name? What's her face? The main character. What is her name? I must keep thinking Isabella, but Abigail, is that her name? This is bad. I'm reading the book and I can't remember this character's name. What is her name? Miss Proctor is her last name. Where is your first name, ma'am? Okay, whatever. I don't have time to look for that. But Miss Proctor, because the kid's name is Bella. Miss Proctor is meeting with Gideon, the main character. I remember his name. I love his name. I love the name Gideon. She's meeting with him as like here's your duties for your job or whatever. And he said a little bit about himself. And he's asking her for, like, why are you here type of thing. Like, what's your backstory? And she declines. And then, my nail hanging out there. Oh, look, it fits perfectly. Ta-da! So there's what it looks like without stickers. He asks her for her backstory. Like, why is she, like, what brought her to the ranch where they're at? Because he's a sheep farmer. And I don't know how I feel about this, because Gideon is kind of like being pushy, and I don't like it when men, well, not just men, but like any character that will pressure someone to give information that they don't want to give. I think back to that book Pathways by Camille Peters. I talked about this in my Battle of the Books video that I did, but I really, like, that character just rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning, because that character was just demanding her to tell him his name. And this guy was not, he's not like rude, but like, dude, if she don't want to tell you, let it go. She don't have to tell you. You're the employer. I mean, I get human curiosity or whatever, but I don't know. I just kind of, he dropped it eventually, because she's like, no, I don't want to say anything. And I'm like, that's not your place, dude. It's not your place. So anyways, I didn't like that. So yeah, I'm a little bit put off by that, but otherwise, like, that's, and like I said, the, potential villain going on here. I don't know, but otherwise it's going pretty good. I think I'm still in chapter 7. What chapter is this, dude? Chapter 7. Yeah, I'm 20% in. So moving right along. Whenever I have a chance to actually focus and read, it moves at a pretty good pace. So, all right. I am not good at this. Looks that it should look like all trendy and everything, and I'm not sure if I can pull it off, because I mooch off of other people's creativeness. How do people do this? How do people get this to stay? I am going to figure this out. It might take me a little bit, but let's just roll with it. Bigger stuff should go at the bottom. Actually, read more books. Read more books is here twice, but it looks like I do have room for it. Oh, and I also wanted to put it's a hand grippy thing, which I had put on the other one before I realized that it didn't fit. So I got a multi-pack, but I really want to try and see if that other one will still work. So we'll see if I can get it to work. Will this work? Maybe? And then my books, La Heart books. Will that work? Potentially. And then this. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cover up the camera spot, because I don't think I've ever used the camera for my Kindle. Who does that? You have a phone. All right. Let's get this sucker in here and see how it looks. I'm pretty easily satisfied. Oh, that's cute. Okay. It just slid a little bit, so I gotta fix it just a smidge. So I think once it's in there and all snug, it will work fine. But I don't know if I finished that sentence. My brain. I'm not really super duper persnickety about like perfection. There's people that are worse than I am, so okay. I need to fix it some more. But that looks cute, right? I need to, oh, maybe if I do it this way. See, I'm figuring this out as I go. Okay. I should have just done, okay, hold on. I do need to fix this part right here. I love it. Okay, hold on. Maybe I just restart. Restart. Hold, please. Maybe I'll speed through this part. Ta-da! Isn't that stinking cute? I love it. Okay, I'm probably gonna keep this on until maybe September-ish, maybe. It's not perfect. Like there's too much at the bottom versus the top, but I have to show this on the Instagram. This is cute worthy. So Carrot is in the container for it. Just pops right in. It's a little bit snugger with the case on, but it is still doable. Yay. Super quick update because I'm trying to make dinner here, but I just have to say Gideon dude has redeemed himself. We're getting hangry. Gideon has redeemed himself. He feels bad for pressuring her and felt like he was the serpent in the garden. So, okay, dude, I forgive you. I forgive you, sir. Also, P.S., her name is Adelaide. At least I got the first initial right, so Adelaide. Good morning. It is Saturday, June 20th, and we are partaking in breakfast right now, so you may hear my kids in the background. We're having waffles and pancakes. Side note, have you ever had waffles and pancakes with peanut butter on top with syrup? If you haven't, you're missing out. It's the only way to go. It's because you are hungry and you need to eat. So I have a couple of things I wanted to share that may be of interest to some folk. So first of all, I am about 30% in, and side note, Lucy was like, I'm 50% in the book that I told her to read. I was like, I'm 30% in. It's a snail's glacial pace over here. Anyways, so I'm 30% in. First thing I want to say is I heard from Kay's library, that Karen Witemeyer's audiobooks, the older ones, I think Head in the Clouds was published in 2010, I think. So I was kind of already cautious of this audiobook narrator. And I had gotten it from Hoopla, thinking maybe I could listen to it to speed things along a little bit. And that's probably why it's taking me a little bit longer than usual, because I'm only physically reading it. I've listened to it a little bit. I just cannot with this woman's voice. I'm sorry, but Kay's right. She mentioned something about her being pretentious sounding. Like, she just does not sound like the character. And I just can't do it. I can't do it. So, yeah. So do not recommend the audiobook at all. Like, do not just, it's not even worth your time if you're sensitive to audiobooks. Second thing, if you are sensitive to contents, there is a scene in here, I think it was chapter 11, that I can see people having some issues with, depending on your sensitivity level. So I will put up on the screen a spoiler message if you want to know absolutely nothing. So it is a sexual assault scene, and there is some detail, but it was not completed. So just know that's as much detail as I'm going to give, so that might be problematic for some readers. It didn't bother me, but that's because I was, if I didn't know, maybe I would have had more dread about what was coming, but I had heard some of my friends mention that was in there, and it was fine. So, or the outcome was fine. So I was fine with it. So just know that's something that bothers you. So anyways, we're planning on going to the park and possibly the library today, because I've had some library books for a while. I've been hoarding them. Have we been reading them? No. Sir, I'm sorry. I have been neglecting you. Sir requires his sustenance. So, anyways, I'll let you know if I have any more updates later. Hello, it is Monday, June something. I'll put the date up on the screen. Just want to do a quick check-in. Today I was off work. Well, I'm off of work all week this week. I decided to take it off because next week we are traveling down south to South Carolina to see our family. And I want to take this week to deep clean my house because I haven't had a chance to do that in quite a while. I just haven't had time to do that with the hubs going to school. And plus, with two little people running around, like on the weekends, I could theoretically do it, but it's kind of moot point with two little people. They just kind of undo the progress that you make. So I took this whole week off and I got some cleaning done, and I bit the bullet and I listened to the audiobook to kind of speed things along. And I love listening to audiobooks while I clean or do whatever. Multitasking, right? Mom multitasking for the win. But I really just do not like this audiobook narrator. Her voice is just not it. But I'm just listening to it to get further along in the book. I'm 80% in. And just pause right there real quick that this audiobook, I'm really surprised. This is like a professionally made like company that makes this audiobook. And you can hear her intakes of breath and her swallowing. And I'm like, oh, gross. So I just don't. I've heard of indie books that are better produced than this book. So highly do not recommend. Only listen to it if you absolutely have to. Which we're getting near the end of the month here. And I need to pick up the pace and read some more books because my TBR is just not getting whittled down. So anyways, at 80% in, and things are happening. Some stuff is popping off. You know, we've hit a climax part in the book. And, you know, some of the stuff I could foresee. So it's doing well. Sorry for the interruption, but the hubs and children walked in, and it's just something about me. Even if I know someone's in the house, I am very jumpy. But anyways, 80% in, I think one of the main climaxes has happened, and so it's a lot of action and, you know, like, what's going to happen? And it's very sweet moments, too. So really close to being done, which I'm really excited about, but I'm still really enjoying the story. And there's a really particularly sweet moment that I just read, and a quote that I wanted to share that I thought was really good. So hold on. Okay, so I got my Kindle, and I'm using the highlight function in my Kindle, and there are actually three quotes that I wanted to share. And I mentioned one earlier that I thought was really funny. Whenever she met Gideon, how there was something that happened that caused him to get dirty because of her, and it says she just floured him like a drumstick headed for the firing pan. I was like, that's funny. And then there was a talk about how it would be unfair to measure him against a fictional standard that he could never possibly achieve. So I thought that was really, really good because romance books, I think, kind of glorify men in a way sometimes, like makes them very unrealistic, and romance very... Did he close the door? It's just, I don't have enough words right now to function to be able to say more to this, but Tammy had a really good video on the topic of romance in books, and I think she would appreciate this quote. So go check out her romance video if you haven't seen it. I'll link it below, but this is the quote that I just finished today. Sorry, been making dinner. God loves us, Izzy, and wants to give us good gifts, but those gifts aren't always what we expect. Sometimes, instead of making a person well, he comforts us and gives us the courage to go on. Sometimes he sends new people into our lives to help us, like when he sent somebody to take care of you. And sometimes he gives us a new joy that we would not have known otherwise. So this is Adelaide talking to her charge Izzy about something that's happening and giving her comfort, because bad things have happened to this kid. Like, both of her parents died, and she was talking about how God doesn't seem to answer her prayers. And so I thought that was a really good thing to talk on, and just a simple enough explanation for a 5-year-old or a young kid to understand that, you know, you're talking about hard stuff, and how even as adults we don't know why God says yes or no to things. and why bad things happen to good people. You know, none of us are truly good, but except for Jesus. But you know, that was just a really good reminder that God is with us. God is with us through it all, and we need to be looking for the silver linings where they may be, because He is there. We just gotta look for Him in the details. So, anyways, I'll check in again later. 90%. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Made some strawberry cobbler, and I'm sitting down to hopefully finish this book tonight. We'll see. Pardon my appearance, but I have laundered. I am clean. I read a little bit further, and it is as I suspected. It's a sad part, and I hope that wasn't the case, but here we are. Also, hopefully you can hear me because my dishwasher is running, but onward. Hello, it is Tuesday, June 23rd, and it's morning time, and I'm about to partake in some oatmeal, but I thought I would update y'all really quick that I did indeed finish the book, In the Clouds, last night, so yay, go me. I finished it on sprints with Tori, actually, a little bit before midnight. And if you haven't been following her on Instagram, you should, because she puts up on her stories when she goes lives, which is how I found her. I was like, oh, I need to be reading, so let me go ahead and hang out with her and whoever's in the comments and read. And yeah, so I finished it. Really excited about that. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I slept on it a little bit so I could formulate some coherent thoughts and be able to portray them to you now. Because at the time I could tell you I really did enjoy it, but star rating wise, I needed a little bit more time. So I don't think it's a 5-star level read for me. It didn't really hit me in the feels, but I did really enjoy it. I feel like what stopped me was almost the plot point of the villain coming after the main characters in order to get an inheritance, kind of doing anything and everything they can to get it. I feel like that storyline is a little bit too overdone for me. I've read it quite a bit, so it's almost too predictable in some instances. So there were some thrilling aspects of it. This book is not what you expect based on the cover. Like, the cover looks like a cutesy, westernish, historical, potentially romance from the cover. And there is that stuff. There's some cute stuff, some sweet moments, some faith moments. I read y'all some quotes I really enjoyed. And there were also some thrilling aspects of it, some action, some sensational type things, some hard content as well, because this is set during the Wild West and things were a little bit more rough back then. It was not an especially safe time period or place. It has like a lot of stuff I really like. It's just that plot point of the inheritance coming to get you thing, I just was not impressed with, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. That seems a little bit harsh, but it didn't hit me as hard because I've read a lot of books, or I've listened to or watched a lot of TV shows or movies with that same plot point, and I could basically see where the storyline was going. So that's probably a me thing, because there's a lot of my friends, including Lucy, which is why I'm reading this, that they rated this 5 stars. So I'm gonna land at a 4-star. That means that I really did enjoy it. I highly recommend it, but it just didn't quite do it for me to get it closer to a 5-star. So yeah, I'm really glad that I read it though. I know what it's like, and I am very interested in reading other books by Karen. Oh, I do want to mention too, I kind of had awareness of this before because I think a few people have mentioned it, but Karen is, or at least with this book, her writing and some other ones I've heard as well, it's a clean book. Like, there's no explicit content or anything, but she does kind of write a little bit more of the noticing and the physical attraction, just a little bit. Like, it didn't really make me uncomfortable. And I do want to say something else, but it's a spoiler. I'm trying to make this as spoiler-free as possible. So I will say, if that type of content you're weary of, I would go into this with caution. There, like I said, there's nothing on page, like, in your face. But I can tell you that some people might be uncomfortable with the way some things are written. So I'm just leaving that out there. But it didn't make me uncomfortable. So Okay, so I do have an update that I thought originally that it would just be this one book. However, Lucy proposed that we read a second book, that we read one of each other's 5-star reads, but not tell each other what book we picked. So I looked through Lucy's Goodreads, which was harder to pick a book than I thought. I know she had like a Lord of the Rings book on there. I'm like, well, that's a little bit more of an epic tale than I want to read right now. And I think she put, oh goodness, I can't remember now, but there's several books in there. Oh, The Count of Monte Cristo. That one is sort of kind of on my TBR, but that's a very large, big book that I don't feel like I can commit to right now. And plus, I've had really terrible luck with classics lately, so I need a break from classics for a while. And there were a lot of books on there that she rated 4 stars that I was interested in, but I'm like, I have to read a 5-star book. So I have landed on Live and Let Chai by Bree Baker, which is a cozy mystery. I don't have a ton of experience with cozy mysteries. I think Bree Baker has several names, and I think she also wrote 12 Sleighs of Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. It says Jacqueline Frost, but I think it's the same person. Let me know if I'm incorrect about that. But I've heard a lot of people really love this book in particular and some others in this series. I think Amanda really enjoyed it as well, and a couple other people I can't think specifically. But she rated it 5 stars, and I would like to try a little bit more of cozy mysteries. And it looks like this one is a seaside mystery, which seems very summery and appropriate. So I'm going to go into it kind of blind. I don't really know what it's about, other than the fact that it's a cozy mystery with a beachy looking cover, and there's tea. I'm a Southern girly, so I can appreciate some tea. I'm going to try it out and see. I did start listening to it a little bit on audio. And thank goodness the audiobook narrator for this one is actually tolerable. So I think I will be mostly listening to it. I got it through Libby. I also got the Kindle book through Libby as well, so I may sit down and read it. I'm also reading another book that's not part of this vlog. So, but I'm going to try and finish this before the end of June so I can get this vlog up and ready for y'all to see. Update on Live and Let Chai. I am 13% in. This is set in a made-up town, I guess. It's called Charm. It's set in North Carolina, so it reminds me a lot of like Outer Banks type setting. So perfect for this time of year. I think it's actually set in the springtime, but talks about the ocean and seafront views and seagulls and stuff. It just feels perfect for summer. So that is really fun. I really am enjoying it so far. I tend to avoid cozy mysteries because I feel like a lot of it is predictable, or like it's just kind of been rinse and repeat. There's lots of similar storylines or plot points. So this one is about a shop owner of a iced tea shop. She has all these different flavors of tea, and it's like her dream to own a tea shop. It's in the first story of her three-story Victorian home situated on an island on the seafront. Perfect idealistic setting, so I love that. And yeah, so there is predictably someone who is upset with her owning this tea shop and has been badgering her about her existence owning this shop and the ingredients list because it's a health and safety concern. So you knew right away that this guy is gonna kick the bucket. And he did, holding her teacup. It's actually a mason jar, I think. But so obviously she is a suspect for murder because she was seen arguing with him the same day. Very, very similar plot point, like I said. And also a new guy has moved into town that she's attracted to that just so happens to be the investigator of the story. So again, very predictable, but it's still kind of a fun listen. I'm chuckling here now again because she's funny. She was talking about how this guy moved in and like nobody ever moves into this town. It's like a small town, very close-knit, all the small towny things. and this guy moved in and she was like admiring him, but she was wearing too small fitness clothes, a sweaty mess, all the things, and so she turned tail and ran, and that made her look suspicious. So I just, stuff like that, it's kind of funny. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this audiobook. So if you like cozy mysteries, I think this is probably a good contender. I just still don't know where I fall on the fence with cozy mysteries, just because, like I said, the predictability is there. But again, maybe that's why it's called cozy mysteries, because it's cozy and knowing what to expect. But let me know what you think about cozy mysteries. Hello, it is Wednesday, June 24th. I'm out and about running errands, and I have some thoughts because I've been listening to this audiobook, and there's just a lot of things floating around in my head that I need to verbally say, and unfortunately they're not good things. So initially I had said this was cute, and the audiobook narrator is doing a decent job. I think it was because, well, at first it did sound cute, and also I had just gotten off of Head in the Clouds with that audiobook, and that was just like nails on a chalkboard at certain points. And this one was better. Just objectively, it was better. That didn't mean it was good. It was good to begin with, and now it's just kind of getting on my nerves. It's like everything she says is like a theatrical performance. I buttered both sides of the toast and popped it into the toaster oven. Like, I don't need everything to be so theatrical. I don't know. Just, if you want to talk like that whenever you're in dialogue, fine. But if you want, saying it whenever you're doing mundane tasks for every single little thing is getting pretty old. So that's kind of grating on my nerves. Also, as I mentioned before, I was pretty positive that Bree Baker and Jacqueline Frost, who wrote 12 Slaves of Christmas, these two authors are the same. I was pretty sure I'd heard that before, and now I'm like, I have verification from my own reading, because I remember something else. I think I read 12 Slaves of Christmas, 3 stars. I can't remember if I said that before. One of the things that got on my nerves with that book is, this is just a nitpicky thing that maybe nobody else would get irritated at, but it is getting on my nerves. So, this grown woman refers to her stomach as her tummy all the time. Like, in 12 Slaves of Christmas, it was like an excessive, like, I don't know, at least 5 times. She said, my tummy grumbled, it flutters in my tummy aches. Like, can we not just say stomach or gut or something? I don't know. Like, tummy just seems like that's something a preschooler would say, or something I would say to my 3-year-old. I don't just have it as a term that I use. And again, maybe I'm just being super persnickety, but she said it twice in this book so far, and I'm like, I don't like it. So that's one confirmation that this is the same author. Because who says that? Maybe I'm just alone in this. And then also, I hesitated to pick this up because cozy mysteries, I just feel like, are unrealistic, which kind of gets on my nerves. And I know that's the point of a cozy mystery. It's supposed to be a cozy story, like you're figuring out a mystery, blah, 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 blah. I just don't know if this genre is for me. I was hopeful because a lot of my friends have really loved this series. They talk about how cute it is. There's just several things that are kind of just getting under my skin. I'm not having a good time anymore, unfortunately. So the main character in this book, Everly, she owns this sweet tea shop. She's basically under suspicion of murder because the murder victim was found with some sweet tea in his hand, and they think it was poison. And so because he was discovered with the sweet tea jar, and the policeman was like, we need to send it off for testing, and half the town was there drinking her sweet tea, kind of hanging out, and they're like throwing all her tea away because she's under suspicion. And now she's trying to like drum up business because nobody's coming to her store, and she's going around going around town offering free samples, and everybody's like shying away from her like she's a leper. And I'm like, okay, so can we use our basic human deduction skills that innocent until proven guilty, first of all, and then also, if she was the murderer, people, would she not have been obvious about her methods here. Like, what kind of stupid murderer would have her logo cup, her signature sweet tea mason jar cup, as painfully obvious that it was there at the murder scene? I don't think so. I think this is a setup, you know, like. And these people know her. She went off to college, and that was like a big old like taboo thing. And I'm just like, I'm over the small town drama of it all, like the over exaggerated small town drama. Like even her, like she has one good friend, which put a pin in that, who believes she's fine with it, but everybody else is like, can't touch her with a 10-foot pole type of thing. And people she like, friend of a friend and her old teacher are all scared of her. And I'm like, okay. So the friend, so Everly went off to college. She dropped out, came back. I will say something nice is that this is an older protagonist. She's 29. And she came back, and she's been there for like 3 months, and yet hasn't seen her supposedly best friend, and her friend hasn't come to see her. And so they run into each other. Oh, how great! How are you? We should catch up. I'm like, if that was my best friend, I would have been a lot sooner than 3 months. Okay. And then, sorry, Lucy, I feel like I am ripping into one of your favorite books. There are a lot of similarities between this book and 12 Slaves of Christmas. Like the details are different, but the structure, the bones of the story are similar. So we have main characters loosely affiliated with a family business. So in 12 Slaves of Christmas, she's helping out the family tree farm. In this one, her aunts have a bee business, and so she talks about that, and like, okay, fine, whatever. And then there is a cop who the main character is attracted to, but is all like, get off of my lawn, territory thing where, don't help me with my investigation, I'm gonna arrest you for obstruction. And so we have that going for us, where you can pretty much tell there's gonna be a romance between the two, most likely. And of course it has to be the cop who's investigating the murder and thinks that he's investigating if she did it or not, and he's acting all like gruff, and you as the reader can tell he's secretly attracted to her, and then she has to investigate herself as someone who has no clue what she's doing, and she can't just leave it up to the police. This is where I can't really get on with cozy mysteries. I tried, y'all. I did. I was trying to be open. But I just don't understand why an average person would try and investigate, like, oh, I'm going to ask every single person in the small town what they think about this murder. Like, what? Would they really be forthcoming with you? What are you really going to find out that the police aren't already going to find out? And that's another thing. Both main characters are like, oh, you should really look into this point. And the police officers is like, I already have. So she's unnecessarily attracting the attention of the killer, because the killer is going to find out it's a small town. Like, someone's asking questions. Let's try and off her or hurt her. Both times the main character has been attacked. And during her investigation in both books, when she's going around asking everybody, she goes into a store, this place of business of this individual, who is a suspect as well. In her mind, he's a suspect. Both male characters, both have a prominent business, and both of them are like acting suspicious. Sorry for the abrupt change, but my filming was cut short because my phone rebelled. It got too hot to film. So it cut me off in the middle of a rant. How rude. So anyways, I'll just finish up my thoughts here. So I was talking about this guy suspect character is in his business. He comes from the back reluctantly, doesn't really want to talk to her, has like is blushing or like has signs of distress or anxiousness, and he really wants to get back to the back. And 12 Slaves of Christmas, I think he was like having an affair or something with like the secretary or something. Like he was busy. So I don't know if that's what's going on in this case or not, but it was just too similar. Like there's a lot of similarities I'm noticing that you can tell this was written by the same person, and it just feels like rinse and repeat to me, and that's getting on my nerves. So I feel bad saying this, sorry Lucy, but I'm a DNF this book. I have so many other books. I have like 3 other books this month that I am supposed to be reading from my TBR, and I really want to read them instead, and this is just, I don't want to torture myself with this book. So, fortunately, this one was a complete fail, which goes to show how different our reading tastes are. And yeah, I feel bad, but it is what it is. So, kind of a semi-win with Head in the Clouds. I rated it 4 stars. Lucy rated it 5 stars. And then the downside is with Live and Let Chai, I DNF'd where Lucy gave it 5 stars. So anyways, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to my rant discussion. Make sure you go and check out Lucy's corresponding vlog to see what she thought about my 5-star reads. I'm so curious to see what she thinks. Anyways, have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.